Who's next?
That was my question.
I think this
Ben.
I get so wrapped up listening to you, I forget to read the question.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Provide an example, please provide an example of how you would place your constituents' interest before your party.
Well, I'm pretty confident in my party in protecting my constituents' rights. I guess if my party was to ever introduce legislation that would infringe on the rights of my citizens, I would absolutely stand up against that legislation. In my district, timber industry, basically the agricultural community, is big. Let's just say if there was some legislation that would be over burdensome to that faction, I guess I would have to, stand against it, as well as any other legislation that would do that.
In your opinion, what programs in Washington State need to be cut or eliminated? And would you support legislation to back up what you say?
Well, I'm going more department-wide. I'm not thinking programs. I think we have several departments. Department of Labor and Industries is one that is exceptionally wasteful. That probably could be there could be a private partnership to help with that. Also, a Department of Ecology is something right now that I think is exceptionally wasteful. We continue to waste money. I mean, huge amounts of money on never-ending studies without even turning a shovel of dirt. I'm an advocate for a plan that establishes environmental impact policies in lieu of endless environmental impact studies. And another one that is really a problem for me is Department of Social and Health Services. It is an agency right now that is almost completely failing in its mission, and it does spend a considerable amount of taxpayer money. So I guess I didn't answer programs, but I have departments, I guess, that are
I actually changed that. I'm going to change programs to departments because I like that better.
Yeah.
So that's
Good.
What specifically are you going to do to try to win this election?
our campaign plan says that we will knock on 20,000 doors, and I believe that is step number one. The other thing in our campaign, school education, we need to get in front of the voters 3 times to for the voters to know me as a candidate. We hand out literature at almost every post office in the district at several times a day. We hand out literature at all the commercial areas that will allow us to do that. The Walmarts is one that's been very gracious in allowing us to do that. So that would be one. We're also aggressively phone calling, so we're going to be calling 25 to 26,000 telephone numbers. We're going to have a very aggressive get out the vote campaign before the primary election and before the general election. And we're also working on TV production where we'll have 5 targeted spots in the 35th Legislative District. We believe that comprehensive plan is a victory plan.
Okay.
So you're working it.
Yeah.
Every day. Every day.
So what was your profession?
I am a professional firefighter, and I'll continue to be a professional firefighter.
Okay, then I've seen you before. I forgot.
Okay. Well, there's 2 of us running, Doug Richardson and myself.
Yeah, but you were at the South Kitsap Republic.
Yes, I was.
Yes, you were.
Yes.
Okay, now I remember you. Is there anything else you would like to add, or do you have any questions for us?
Well, my name is Dan Griffey. I'm running for State House of Representatives in the 35th Legislative District. I stand committed to re-implementing I-960 tax limitations on legislature, reducing regulations and taxes on our businesses to grow jobs in the state of Washington, and giving back to the citizens of the state of Washington individual rights and freedoms. The nanny state is not working for me any longer. It's time we educate, not indoctrinate. It's time we innovate, not regulate. And it's high time we elect representatives who actually uphold the will of the people that put them into office. Again, my name is Dan Griffey. I'm running for State House of Representatives in the 35th Legislative District. Together, we can do better. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we've actually before, and I don't know if you want to do this, if you have anything you want to chat about, we kind of left it on with, who was that? One of the candidates. And just had some
Jan.
conversation.
No, it was Matthew Burke.
Matthew Burke.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you feel, but you have places you have to go. You have to be
I have
somewhere.
time. I don't have to be anywhere till 3 o'clock. So if you want to chat with me some more, I'm happy to chat. This is actually free time for me. I'm not doorbelling, that sort of thing. So it's good. Yeah, no problem.
I don't know if you guys have any.
Is that what you expected at the end? What I wanted to say? 'Cause
No,
that's my little.
that's
my
great.
little tag.
I forgot we were on camera when I put my 2 cents in. I'm sorry.
I tried to help out. It's a round table discussion. Go
I have
ahead.
a question on vouchers, and it has come up a lot of times. I am originally from Ohio,
Mhm.
and if my child went to a Christian school,
Yes.
which our school would not accept vouchers, because along with the voucher comes the state in to tell you who you can hire, how much you have to pay them, and what you have to teach. So we just totally refuse to take any money or any voucher systems. Now, does Washington State follow that same?
We don't have voucher systems of any kind, so
Right.
this could be something. It would be hard to do. It's going to be a lot of work, and I do not run away from hard things to do. It could be something that could be done. We would just have to do a really good job writing the legislation.
Or the parent would get credit. Homeschooling's expensive.
I honestly
That's
believe,
just
though.
a big, huge pet peeve I have.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly believe that the state should have the responsibility to establish minimum core curriculum: reading, writing, arithmetic. I like the STEM disciplines: science, industry, mathematics, and technology. So,
How about government?
what's that? Oh, and government. Oh, hell, yeah. I would, if it was me, reading, writing, arithmetic, and U.S. history would be my four, because I am so passionate about U.S. history. So, yes, I think it is the state's responsibility to establish some minimums. But after that, what is covered, And then there's no reason that somebody couldn't go to a voucher program through elementary school and go to a STEM school discipline. So you get your reading, writing, and arithmetic, and then you go over to the STEM disciplines, so you could be a great scientist or a great mathematician or engineer, the things that we need in this area. We need great engineers. We need great scientists, and we need technology-savvy people. So, excuse me, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what do you think of McKenna's joining the 20 other states that are suing them?
I love it. Go Rob. Go Rob. The federal government has no right to tell the taxpayers. I haven't found the Constitution. I read it every night, but the Constitution does not support the government telling taxpayers that they must buy a product. They absolutely do not have that right.
I have a good question based on, or a question I liked based on love of history. Made me think of who is your favorite president, excluding Washington, Lincoln, and Reagan,
Thomas Jefferson.
and why?
I really liked his beliefs in the and support of limited governments for the people. Also, the fact that no generation has the right to impose on another generation their ideals, their debt, that sort of thing. I mean, I really like those. I also really admire John Adams. As a president, he failed miserably. As a founding father, he was instrumental to us achieving this great nation. So I think John Adams has been written out of history, and it really bugs me because they're talking about writing Thomas Jefferson out of history also in the history books. So those two men I admire immensely.
All right. Anything else, Brenda?
No, I like that question that you asked.
The president
About the president, yes. Or even if it was like on a state level, which like you're running, what governor do you admire?
Well, let's look, Bobby Jindal. I gotta look away from the state of Washington.
That's right, yes.
You didn't ask from our state. You were asking
A governor.
A governor, yes.
That is a good
I
question.
admire Jan Brewer standing up
Are
there.
you-
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris Christie is another great man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to reach outside the state. Now I would like to have the Honorable Rob McKenna that I could next time around when I'm going for re-election. I would love that. That would be great.
There's
That's a
big
great
move now
question.
to abolish the Electoral College, and I think the Democrats in this state are in favor
Yeah.
of that.
Well, we truly have adopted. We are one of the states that have adopted that we do not use the Electoral College. I just sat and what was the Policy Center or Heritage Foundation? I cannot remember. I sit on so many. I want a lot of education. I really want to be educated on it. But Washington State's one that did already throw out. We do not appropriate our electors the way that the other states do.
Well, there's, they want to do it anyway.
Yeah. We've already Governor Gregoire signed it in 2007. It's done. We don't. They are bound. The electors were never bound to a vote. They were honor bound. They would swear to the governor honor bound. But now they are bound to the popular vote. It's not how the founding fathers wanted it. It's not how they wanted it at all.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep, it's out, and I tell you what, it's going to be a fight in our hands, but we need to get back to that. And they promise that when we're elected, they're going to come back and help us with legislation to get it back, and I will use their guidance to get it back.